Silencing critics is not the best way to be a good government. We are democratic. We are not autocratic. And so I find it baffling that a young girl who NYSC deployed to work for them rose a concern, and instead of NYSC addressing the concerns, they are threatening her. Is this the kind of Nigeria that our fathers fought for? Where people can no longer express how they feel about the situation of the country. And it's not as if the government is the best government in town. This is basically the worst government we have experienced. Welcome to the Diary of a Broken Man, where we dissect political, economic, and social issues concerning our country, Nigeria. And today we look at Afrobarometer data on declining trust in lawmakers and public office holders in Nigeria. So, welcome to Diary of a Broken Man. Remember to subscribe, to like, to share, and to comment for us to be able to give you more premium contents in the future. Remember, we are discussing Afrobarometer data and declining trust in lawmakers and public office holders in Nigeria. We'll go in proper. Now, Afrobarometer survey in Nigeria highlights a significant decline in public trust towards lawmakers and the public office holders, reflecting broader governance challenges. According to round 8 of 2019 data, only 23% of Nigerians expressed trust in the National Assembly, a sharp drop from earlier round driven by perceptions of corruption, inefficiency, and unresponsiveness. Trust in the presidency has also plummeted, with just 34% of respondents in 2019 viewing it favorably, down from 57% in 2008. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, fares even the worst, with skepticism or with confidence level of about 10% in INEC. Tied to skepticism about electoral integrity, Nigerians consistently rate corruption as the top concern, with 44% believing most or all public office holders are corrupt, a perception that undermines faith in democratic institutions. The lack of trust fuels a demand for accountability, yet only 15% of citizens report contacting their elected officials to address issues, indicating a gap. You see, it's actually very funny. Nigerians know that their lawmakers, their governors, their senators, their president, their vice president, all these public office holders, that they are not doing well. But funny enough, Nigerians cannot take responsibility of demanding accountability, because it's part of the whole thing. But the sweetness of democracy is the ability to demand accountability. These people work for us. They work for us. They don't work for themselves. And they are not the owners of Nigeria. They are Nigerians just like you. Your lawmakers are representing you. And you need to ask them questions. You need to be aware of what they are doing. Do you know that some people in some senatorial district don't even know their senators? I think what Nigeria needs now is, first of all, awareness. We need awareness more than any other thing. We need to start a kind of creating awareness of who is working where. And by the time we know these people, who is the governor of Anambra State, Imo State, Delta State, Ondo State, when we know the governors, we have already known the president, we know the senators representing us, we know those in the House of Reps, we know those in the House of Assemblies, the governors, the commissioners. When we know these people and begin to demand, because somebody cannot be minister of power, for instance, and there is no light, and he's comfortable walking around, driving with security. Somebody cannot be minister of this or that, and the ministry is not working and is comfortable. In a Senate climb, such a person should be questioned or fired. If you don't want to work, or you are not, you can't do the work, you get out. Let the person who can do it get in. This is how democracy works. There is no pity in democracy. There is no pity. If you cannot do it, you step aside. Let the person who can do it handle it. You are not in your father's house where anything can go. This is about a developing nation, for Christ's sake. For crying out loud, this is a developing nation that needs the best hands in every sector. Criticism, but people are afraid to question their leaders. They are afraid. I don't know whether to call our Nigerians cowards, because to call us cowards now seems like an understatement, because the way we swallow a lot of things in Nigeria is baffling. There is no single day you hear good news again. It's all about bad news, all about bad news. On this side, the police is brutalizing people. And when they do it, they go scot-free. Nothing happens. They're slapping people and beating people here and there. Nothing happens. The politicians are doing their own. Nothing happens. Those in the parastatals are doing their own. Nothing happens. Those in fact, even in the local government areas, people are doing the most. Nothing happens. Small offices. In fact, it's like when you give a Nigerian any small, the slightest authority, it becomes a god there. So, restoring confidence through civic tech. Example, budget in Nigeria. Civic technology offers a pathway to rebuild trust by enhancing transparency and empowering citizens to hold lawmakers and the public office holders accountable. Budget, a Nigerian-founded organization, plays a pivotal role by breaking down complex government budgets into accessible formats, enabling citizens to track spending and question discrepancies. For instance, Budget Tracker platform allows communities to monitor local infrastructure projects, directly addressing the Afrobarometer finding that Nigerians feel neglected by unresponsive leaders. By fostering citizen participation, such tools counter the apathy seen in survey data, where only 7% of Nigerians attend community meetings and amplify demands for accountability. Budget's work has gained traction in exposing budget padding and mismanagement in the National Assembly, resonating with the 67% of Nigerians who, per Afrobarometer, support media investigation into corruption. However, challenges like limited internet penetration, only 50% of Nigerians are online in 2025. Only 50% of Nigerians are online in 2025. And the distrust in digital platforms could slow progress, requiring broader outreach and education to maximize impact. Media. Polls from NOI surveys. NOI surveys, a leading Nigerian polling firm, provides media-backed evidence of these trust deficits, often aligning with Afrobarometer trends. In 2023 governance poll, NOI found that 62% of Nigerians disapproved of the National Assembly's performance, citing corruption and a lack of transparency, echoing Afrobarometer's trust metric. Earlier polls, such as these ahead of the 2019 election, showed only 28% of Nigerians had confidence in INEC's ability to deliver fair election, consistent with Afrobarometer's 23% trust rating. NOI's data frequently highlights public frustration with lawmakers, perceived extravagance with 70% of respondents in 2021. Now, the way I see things, it's as if the extravaganza in the life of our politicians can only be fueled by the silence of the citizens. Because tell me why a local government chairman, tell me why a senator would be wearing a watch of, say, $400,000. driving the car of $1,000,000, $500,000. That is why they rush into government in Nigeria, because it's palatable. It's the only way to make the easiest way to become rich, go into government. And the Nigerians are not even helping matters. Once somebody gets into government, even if he doesn't want to do like others, the pressure from people around him, the village people, people in his community, people in his kindred, everybody is demanding money. Everybody is telling him to do what others are doing. When are we going to get it right? It's a question I keep asking. When are we going to get it right? It's appalling how low we've gotten as a nation. It's appalling how we have gotten so low as a nation. It is not as if we don't have the best brains. Our young people are all over the world doing wonders in various universities and various companies and offices around the world. Our best minds are out there doing wonders. But because of the ineptitude of the state of Nigeria to harness the quality of her youths, our human resources, to harness everything. Everything is about oil. Everything is about oil, stealing and padding, and everything is about to steal. How to steal? Nobody is planning to build anything. Just find a way to steal your own before 4 years goes. That's the system. Any smallest office, find a way to steal your own. Is it not national cake? Everybody is dividing the national cake. When are we going to start thinking like people whose mates we got independence with, or people who started developing the same time we got independence, have gone a million miles away from us? When are we going to start questioning the level of the level of dilapidation in our system? Have you been to our schools, hospitals, the road? In fact, some areas don't even have drainage systems. So when it rains, it's on the road. And there are governors in those states. There are senators in those constituencies. And they collect constituency project money. The governors collect allowance monthly for their state. Everybody collects and they pocket. It's all about pocketing. Just collect and pocket as much as you can. Don't build anything. Then there are 63% of Nigerians living under $1.90. And you are flying around the world buying private jets. The way you see, our politicians are the most unwise people, because when they travel to these countries, they look at them like idiots. Look, if I am a politician in Nigeria and I am not known for doing well, because whether you like it or not, some politicians are doing well, or not all of them are bad. Some of them are doing well. And so when I am among those ones that are not doing well, I should be ashamed of myself going to maybe the United Nations or traveling around the world, sitting among countries, developed countries, sitting among their senators and their presidents and their prime ministers. I should be ashamed. But it seems as if Africans, generally African politicians, they have no shame, no iota of shame. Because the way they carry themselves, like gods and goddesses, when they come from, what this demanding for loans upon loans, not just loans, because the handouts, that's why we are where we are today, because we are demanding for handouts, waiting for grants, waiting for this and that, from nations who should be begging us for loans. I just hope we rise up. I just hope we rise up and demand accountability from those who sent to represent us. They are working for us. They are not gods. And they should not be treating Nigerians like there is something special about them, that they are more human than other human beings. We are all human beings and Nigerians, and the same red blood runs in all of us. Stop acting like gods. Do the work you are sent to do. There are many poor people in Nigeria. You should be ashamed that you are a politician driving a jeep of 100 million or 200 million in a bad road. You should be ashamed coming to a village without road. You should be ashamed as a senator, as a whatever you are, a politician. You should be ashamed living among those beggars and those people who could not afford to eat and parading yourself as if everything is okay. You should be ashamed. We should be ashamed. And because we have so many sycophants in Nigeria, that is why you people are comfortable. There are so many sycophants who will see their oppressors and side their oppressors. That is why Raye talked about the ills of the failure of the government to make things work that they promised to do during their inauguration and their campaign, because that's what they campaigned on, that they will make Nigeria better overnight, that they will make Nigeria like America overnight, Chinese Taiwan. And after 2 years, and we have not seen anything. Those who bought fuel at 300, 200 in 2023 are now buying it 1,002, 900, 800, 700. Dollar rate is still 1,750. And everybody is quiet. If you are a politician in Nigeria, you should be ashamed of yourself. You should be dearly ashamed of yourself because you failed the unborn generation. Those your children, you failed them. Even if you send them to the moon to study, you failed them. Because if you didn't fail them, they shouldn't be studying in another man's country. Until Nigeria makes it a must that the condition to be a politician is that your children must be studying in Nigeria, you must be doing healthcare in Nigeria. Everything will not. In fact, nobody should travel outside until we get it better right. Because we have the most shameless politicians. They only care about the latest Jeep to come in to buy, latest Lexus car. And they don't care about the companies producing car in Nigeria. It should be a must that every lawmaker, every politician should be driving Nord, Innocent, all these Nigerian produced cars. That should be a must. Well, how can they do that? The truth is Nigerians don't trust their politicians, but we are too cowardly to even speak out and to demand accountability. And until we do that, we remain where we are. Do you know that as at 1970s, with the minimum wage of $125, 25 naira, people were living large? Now, with how many people can't, with even if they're paying you 200,000, 1 million, you can't even feed your family again. There was a time 100,000 naira was the basic salary of many top office holders, and they were training their children in UNIZIC, in UNN, and we are comfortable. Now, with your 2 million naira, even if you are working in the biggest company in the whole Nigeria, they are paying you 2 million naira. You still can't feed your children well. It's unfortunate. Now, come to think of those in the villages, those people who eat from hand to mouth, and the politicians are comfortable. They are comfortable because Nigerians made them comfortable. Because if Nigerians demand accountability, they will be afraid even to enter their constituents. They will be afraid of Nigerians. But Nigerians are, I don't know. So, let me know what you think in the comment section about Nigeria and the accountability, the level of accountability of our public office holders. Remember to subscribe, to like, to share, and to comment. And I will see you on the next one. Cheers.